morning, this is 1M1 and 1M2. It's Wednesday the 8th of September, but it's so cold and it's freezing and it feels like in the middle of December. Look at the beautiful weather. Today we are going to be doing some plane tabling and measuring and seeing what life was like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. We hope you enjoy our movie.
Alright, good, thanks. What I'm doing is I'm plane tabling this building here. I've got Emma over there. She's showing me the ranging pole where I have to mark off with the alidade, and then we have the tape measure to measure how far it is, and then I scale it down by 100, and then after that we draw a diagram. So we're on the interior wall, and that's how we do it.
Plane tabling is a really ancient way of making maps and surveying areas, and a chap called Roy, he was very famous for creating the first maps of the Highlands after the Jacobite Rebellion, and he did that in about 1746-47, and he created some of the very first maps of here using the plane tabling technique, and he was working with the army to create these maps so that people couldn't hide up in these glens. Basically, you use a tripod with a flat table. We're using permatrace on the table so it doesn't get wet, and it's a method of creating angles and points, and it's really accurate, and it's really good for doing this sort of thing because it's quick and it's easy to understand.
It's fantastic. I mean, they're doing the technical aspects of surveying, which is great, but more importantly I think is they hopefully are getting a little bit more of a handle on their own cultural background and their own cultural heritage, how people lived here, what they ate, how do you survive at 450 metres in October, November, it's quite cold, never mind middle of February, what did they grow, why are there no townships here anymore, why people moved off this land and are now living down in the valleys. So there's a lot of different outcomes can be covered there, and I don't think you could do that inside a classroom.
Hey guys, come have a look at this!
Hello? Who are you?
Never mind who I am, who are you?
I'm Zachary. That's good. That's that.
Well, I'm Anne. Hold on. William, come see these queer looking folks.
What's the matter with you? You all look like you've seen a ghost. What are you doing here? We're on a school trip.
We're from Aboyne Academy. We hear the entrance. We're looking for a lost community. We're trying to find out about the people of Auchtavan.
What do you mean lost? We've been here all the time. As far back as Granny Annie and Grandpa William.
Granny Annie was born here. It was a bit old-fashioned, no windows, and the farm was in the middle of the forest. They are posh home like yours. Most of the neighbours have gone now. Remember Mammy saying about Mr. Shaw, Mr. Mitchell, and Mr. Abercrombie? They've all moved. Even Granny Annie's gone.
She died a couple of years ago.
I think they're ghosts. Maybe we should get out of here.
They seem harmless to me, and anyway, aren't we meant to be finding out about the people of Auchtavan?
That's right. Maybe they could help us?
And the Auchtavan township probably supported maybe 20, 30 or 40 families at one point. Some have only moved out of the area in say 1928 or so. So I think people like the fact that it's a link to their own past, their own culture. I think that's really important to people.
Where do you go to school?
We go to a wee school down there. It's a 2.5-mile walk to our school. It's really tiring.
I wouldn't want to walk 2.5 miles to go to school.
I'd get tired before I got to the end of my street.
And in the winter, it's even worse because you have to be up even earlier in the morning.
Can you not take a bus?
We do. Well, most of us do. Don't be daft. There were no buses back then.
You must be really fit to go that far every day. Sometimes, if the horses aren't plowing, we get a backing from the road.
That's the rare fun. Where'd you stay? We bide in a wee croft. In the hill. Come on, we'll show you.
We found two interesting facts, well, three. One's the most obvious one. We've got a track coming through our house. And then the second is that the walls are actually rounded corners, which means it's quite an old building, because the newer ones have angular corners. And then the third thing is this wall doesn't actually join up to there because it's squint. So that must mean that there's like either a third point in there where the door would be, or they kind of went a bit skew-whiff.
Where we are now is part of the local community, it's part of the local history and culture, so we're doing something which will be a permanent legacy for the people and for the area, but also for these 130 odd youngsters that we've got here over the week working, for them in particular as part of their learning experience and shaping them as young people who are doing something active for their community. That's what Curriculum for Excellence, a lot of what it's all about. It's about really embedding learning and remembering and understanding how important you are as a person and how you can do things that shape your world around you.